Oh, hey guys. I'm bored as fuck. I'm fighting off this boredom, man. So we'll do another video. I like the subject of witches. And so, yeah, we'll talk some more about that. Yeah. You know, it's funny because after I did that video, I ended up having a discussion with a gentleman, and we kind of started talking not about witches, but just about how women, the idea of women being evil and stuff. And it was really piqued my curiosity because his whole kind of like, I mean, I think me and him would have to go into it. It's a longer conversation, you know. Because he was kind of like defending women, this is the common thing that men do because men think with their dick. And so men always default to giving women the benefit of the doubt, no matter what. And this spell has been cast on men since Adam and Eve and the serpent and the forbidden fruit. If you know what I mean. Now, I'm not trying to cast shade on women. What I'm saying is, women are just as bad as men. Like, it's all relative. And this spell, this long drawn out dark cloud spell that has been just perpetuated, that, you know, and it's very subtle. And it's always defended by men who think with their dick. And they always default to defending women. Oh no, it's not true that there's as many women who are narcissists as there are men. That's not true. Let me explain it to you. Okay, dickhead, let's hear it. Let's hear what, you know. I already know the drill, right? And you know, and it was an interesting conversation we had, which, like I said, I think me and him would have to really kind of like, you know, flesh this out, like really like get down to brass tacks and like, okay, what are we really talking about now here? You know, and because, you know, the strong suggestion was that, oh no, women are just, you know, as long as the man is good, then the woman won't have any problem with him. The only time women have a problem with men is when men aren't doing what they should be doing. And then proceeded further to say, like, you know, I've never had any problem with men. You know, and the implication is because I'm a cut above. Yeah. And this is another conversation men always love to have with other men is they want to tell you the secret to women, you know. Let me explain to you what women are all about. Says the man who wants to dick swing and measure, you know, dick sizes with another man to try to establish, you know, it's like a territorial pissing kind of match going on, you know. We all men know the drill here. When there's some man who wants to school some other man on women, and then it's always the same story. It's like, you know, if you just treat a woman the way a woman ought to be treated, then there's never any problem. It's only when a man isn't really being a man is when the woman has a problem with him. And it's like, oh my God, are you fucking okay? And so sorry to say, but these are the cucks of the world. These are the men who will always defend the woman no matter what. She could be fucking the Jezebel of Babylon, riding the cock carousel of the fucking seven-headed dragon. And this guy's gonna still defend her. Oh no, don't you, hey, we need to stand up and defend this poor girl, you know. She's getting picked on, you know. It's totally insane, right? And so, and it reminds me of, like, there's kind of an age-old saying that is circulated throughout, you know, And it goes something. I'm paraphrasing, but it goes something like this. It's like it says, wars have been fought, and fucking thousands of men have died, all over a woman. And if you really think about that, like, that's evil. That a woman would cause a fucking war where thousands of men are going to war and dying, all because of some woman. And you can trace back in history, there's documentation where these are supposed facts about wars in history, that it all started over a dispute over a love triangle, and then that fact was like they tried to hide it and tried to create this lie. Oh no, this war was like a really important war because it involved freeing the slaves, they'll try to doll it up like, no, this was some big important war, when really, like, the fact never got totally scrubbed from documents, and you could trace the lineage of how the war was started. Information was discovered that no, actually it was a love triangle where some fucking malignant, narcissist, evil woman, just an evil woman, just wanted to stir up trouble to wield the awesome power of her pussy. And the only men that a woman can wield their power over is cucks. Men who are cucked, who will always defend a woman to the very end, no matter what. Even if she's like the most evil being walking the earth, the cucked man will defend her to the ends of the earth, right? And those are always the men who get duped by the evil woman, the sociopath, psychopath, malignant, narcissist woman. And like I was talking about before, when you think of the idea of a witch has nothing on a woman like that. And there are men, and a large percentage of men who are aware that these women exist. And there's a lot of men who understand that women have just as much of a potential to be evil as men. And women, in fact, are as evil as men, in relatively speaking, But we still live in a society where this spell is still, pervasive, where women are more innocent than men. Women are not as bad as men are, and this persists unto this day. And I will say this goes into politics too, because more often than not, it's the Democrat liberal who will defend the woman, who stands up for the feminist and stands against the patriarchy and all that. It's more often than not, it's the liberal-minded, But then what does that even mean today when liberals act like conservatives and conservatives act like liberals? And that's what it all comes down to, which head is the guy thinking with, And all men are guilty of thinking with their dick. But some men are sicker than others. And this is always true, no matter what. No matter how mentally healthy you are, I guarantee you, there's a man out there who is more mentally well than you are. And some people are just sicker than others. And some men are just sicker in their fucking obsession with the lust for pussy than other men. To the point where the vagina is their god. That is their god. And they will obey until the ends of the earth, you know. But anyways, witches. Yeah. Witches is a really I love the subject of witches, man. I think that witches exist. And I don't think, but like I said, you know, a psycho woman has, you know, a witch has nothing on a psycho woman. Like a witch could cast some spell and conjure up, you know, a tarantula or something, you know, right before your eyes. And that might be shocking or in the moment and possibly even traumatic or something. But there is nothing more trauma-inducing than a woman who's a total evil fucking black-hearted psycho. And a black-hearted evil psycho doesn't have to meddle with spell casting and shit. No. They're on a whole other level. Like, that's just petty shit to a black-hearted, sadistic, evil woman. You know, spell casting is for the fucking birds, man. It's nothing compared to the, you know, a black-hearted, sadistic, evil fucking woman. So anyway, yeah. That's all I got. See you, boys. If I can find the fucking